All right, we're going to do an ElastiCache demo today. So let's navigate to the ElastiCache dashboard. And for today's demo, I'm going to create a Redis instance. So let's click on Redis. You can see that I have an old one created right here. Go ahead and create a new one. So obviously you have two options, Redis and Memcached. For our demo, we're just going to do Redis. Memcached is um, more performant version of ElastiCache as opposed to Redis. We will run it on Amazon Cloud. As you can see, there is also an option of running your ElastiCache on AWS Outpost. Name, we are going to um, call it demo, demo Redis. Description is optional. We'll keep engine at 6.x. Port is 6379. You can obviously specify your own port. We won't mess with this. We'll leave it as is. We're not doing a cluster, so this is fine. Node type. Um, I am going to select T2 micro just because this is my free tier account. And I am going to keep the number of replicas at 1. Obviously, when you're deploying for production, you want at least 1 or 2 replicas because you want it to be durable. And I'm gonna uncheck this just so it creates more quickly. But for production, obviously you want it to be a multi-AZ deployment, so it's highly available. Subnet group, that's fine. We're going to leave it at the default one it picked up. Availability zones, I don't really have a preference, but when you're deploying enterprise architecture production workloads, you might have a preference. In that case, you can always select your where you want your primary to be and where you want your replica to be. For me, I'm going to select no preference. Security groups, I'm going to keep this because we're creating this in my free tier account and I'm creating it in my default VPC, pardon me. I'm just going to create choose my security group as the default security group that comes with the default VPC. Obviously, when you're deploying production workloads, this is going to change according to the VPC that you have created, a custom VPC that you would have created, and the security groups associated with it. You can see that you also have the ability to use encryption at rest and encryption in transit. So obviously, if this is a production workload and you have any sensitive data, I would highly recommend using both these options. And as you can see for encryption key, you can use the default encryption key that comes with your AWS account, or you can upload you can create a new key and upload it to Amazon's KMS, key management system, and use it from there. For us, because this is demo, we're going to uncheck all of that. And um, again, if this is a production workload, make sure that you at least have this. If you know that you have slow log check, because caching is for performance, right? So if there is any issue with your performance, if your end users are complaining that your performance isn't at par, then you want to troubleshoot and you want the slow log there to capture if and when there are issues. Again, we'll uncheck this because this is a demo account. If you want to import data into your cluster, you can obviously use an S3 bucket right here. We don't have a seed file to import, so we're going to leave that blank. Again, if this is your production, you want automatic backups enabled. but this is my free tier, so I'm just going to uncheck it. But as you can see, you can, if you have automatic backups enabled, you can specify the retention period, and you can go up to 35 days. And also, if this is your production cache, make sure you specify a backup window because you don't want backups to be running during your peak hours. So let's go ahead and just uncheck it for now. Same thing with your maintenance window. If you want, any maintenance done when, uh, since this is a managed services from AWS, so you can specify maintenance window. Again, highly recommend using this option if it's a production cache. Whereas it doesn't matter, it's a demo instance. And also, you might want to enable notifications as and when some maintenance kicks in. So in that case, you can just go to your SNS service and create a topic, link it to your email. For instance, I have this one linked to my email, and I can use that as for my notification. But for now, we'll just disable notifications. Tagging is great if you want to use tag this to a certain department, or you want to tag this to a certain category, etc. Again, highly recommend using tags. It helps with the resource organization and management, um, especially for enterprise deployments. And that is pretty much it. You can go ahead and create, and it's going to take a few minutes to get up and running. And what will happen is, let's click on this one, which I had already created. What you'll see is that you'll see the primary instance right here, then you'll see the replica here, and this is the endpoint that you will be using for your applications or your scripts, etc. So you will pick the primary endpoint, and this is the port. If you need to communicate with Redis on the port. So that's again pretty much it. And give it a few minutes, and you'll see that this is up and running. All right, that's your Redis demo for today.